There is a sense that Brits are being lied to about asylum seeker hotels. Last week, my producer was told over the phone by the Home Office that the Britannia Hotel in Canary Wharf was not a migrant hotel. Then, over the weekend, this happened.
The time is 1:33, the 1st of August.
A busload of what appeared to be asylum seekers were dropped off in the early hours of the morning under the cover of darkness. Now, that in itself indicates that they were potentially trying to hide that from us. Then, at other hotels in London, these images emerged. New arrivals just laughing at protesters outside the hotel. Where did you get the phones, lads? That's what I want to know. Where do you get those phones? I think it sticks in the craw a little bit, doesn't it, considering it's British taxpayers who are paying for them to live there. For years, people who said they wanted to stop the boats, deport people and close migrant hotels were called far-right racists. Well, these ladies turned up to show their feelings.
Sweet Caroline! Go on track. Good, so good. Good.
It's getting a bit tricky now to call them far-right, I think, isn't it? And why are women becoming increasingly concerned about migrant hotels? Well, over the weekend, 2 cases emerged, and I want to stress that these are just allegations and that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. 2 men, believed to be asylum seekers, have appeared in court charged with the alleged rape of a 12-year-old girl. Then, in Greater Manchester, another man, reported to be an asylum seeker, has been charged with the alleged attempted kidnap of a 10-year-old girl. Well, we'll leave both of those cases there for now, but you've got the women in pink. There they are again, I think. Yeah, lovely stuff. People call them fascists. Well, should we have a look at who turned up to counter-protest? There's people just masked up on the other side of that police cordon, lots of them wearing black, very intimidating, all kicking off, and they're the good guys. They are the good guys. The police have to be very careful about how to handle these situations going forward.
You have to leave now and not to return within 28 days to this area. If you don't, you will be arrested, okay?
So you're telling me that we're not allowed to come back and protest?
For 28 days because you're causing distress and alarm to the resident of this hotel. If you don't comply with that,
we need the area to be now.
You will be arrested.
Well, what that clip showed there was a police officer appearing to tell a man that he had to leave that protest and was not allowed to return within 28 days because he was causing a bit of distress to the people inside the hotel. Well, it looked like the police were clamping down on legitimate protests. They have since rowed back, saying that they only want to arrest people who break the law. But the fact is that it is now impossible for the government to cover up where they are going to plonk these migrant hotels. And Antifa and the left-wing media can't call a load of concerned ladies wearing pink far-right fascists. The women of Britain have had enough, and they've found their voice, and they will not be defeated.
Do you want to save a boatload of cash this summer, wherever you have a trip planned? The one thing you're going to need is access to the internet and on the go. And you can do that easily with Saily. Hit the link in the description to get 15% of your first eSIM plan ready for your trip so you can browse to your heart's content. Saily gets you a local SIM card you can use when traveling so you don't have to pay those crazy roaming fees just to send a message or check the latest news. Now, they've got plans in over 160 countries, 8 regions, so pretty much everywhere, wherever you're going, they'll be able to make sure you're connected. So how does it work? All you've got to do is this. Hit the link in the description to download the app. It will work on iOS or Android. Buy a plan. You can choose an amount of data and time frame that suits you best. And then just install the eSIM on your phone. When you land at your holiday destination, you can activate your plan instantly. And if that wasn't enough, Saily eSIMs only ever have to be installed once. So when you go on your next trip, you just buy a plan for a new country, turn that eSIM back on, and boom, you're back watching me on GBNews. I'll be using a Saily SIM on my next holiday because it's actually faster than some of the hotel Wi-Fis. You can get unlimited data if you want, so you can scroll away to your heart's content. And when you leave the hotel, you don't have to do that annoying thing of Wi-Fi hopping because you've got constant connectivity wherever you go. And they've got 24/7 support as well and a full refund policy if your eSIM isn't compatible. So get sorted for your next trip. Download Saily using the link in the description below. And if you use the code NEWS at checkout, you'll get an exclusive 15% discount on us. So click the link, download Saily, and use the code NEWS at checkout.
Let's get our thoughts on my panel. We've got Daily Express columnist Carol Malone, journalist and broadcaster Benjamin Butterworth, and former Conservative Party advisor James Price. Carol, I'll start with you as our resident woman for the evening.
Thank you.
There you go. So the women of Britain have found their voice when it comes to these illegal migrant hotels, I think, haven't they?
It's going to be really interesting to see how the left-wing media spin this one, actually. They must be frustrated to hell and back over this. And these were ordinary women, very concerned about their families and their children. And they've, like the rest of us, they've had enough of this. They know what the stats are. They know what the stats we have. We've got nearly 2,000 foreign offenders, sex offenders in our jails. 40% of all sex offenders in London are foreigners. And so people with families, with kids are concerned. You just read out a couple of allegations there. But I think we're also concerned about the fact we're being lied to about this. This is, in Warwickshire, we know in Nuneaton they try to hide the situation about the two Afghan asylum seekers allegedly.
I think, again, just to say on that, that is alleged, all of that stuff.
It's an allegation. Yeah. But they try to hide it because they're saying it will inflame tensions. Now, what is inflaming tensions in this country is politicians and policemen hiding the fact from us that this has actually happened. They are inflaming the situation by not dealing with these people who are coming here, by not dealing with illegal immigration, and with not dealing with the sex offenders, probably. So it's not the people that are causing tensions. It is the government.
James, bring you into this. Yeah, I mean, there's two issues here. Obviously, the first one that we've kind of addressed there was more the fact that the women have decided that they've had enough of this stuff. But that stark image there of having been told. My producer having been told that hotel was not a migrant hotel, watching those men, and it was all men, being bussed in under the cover of darkness in the dead of night, so predictable that it was going to happen. It adds to that sense of deception, I think.
Yeah, absolutely right. I think when you get to a point like that, when the government starts actively lying to the people who are supposed to be represented by them, you can't survive for very long. I think we're seeing a really deep crisis of legitimacy, and that's a hard thing to kind of define, either philosophically or anything else, but it's one of those moments you know it when you see it. And if you've got a government that is lying to the press, is lying to the people out there, and prefers to try and arrest people who are just scared about what's happening to their society, what's going to happen to their children, rather than all these people who've the first act they've ever done in this country is breaking the law by coming in illegally. That's where you start seeing this two-tier justice stuff coming through, and you start getting to that, and things are going to get really febrile now, because it's not just happening in that Canary Wharf site, chosen because not many people live there, not just in Warwickshire that was mentioned, not just Southport a year ago and the horrible things there. These things are starting to pop up all over the country. And if Yvette Cooper, the Home Secretary, thinks, the only problem is people don't like taxpayers' money being spent on the hotels, let's just pass them all through, because that's what's speeding up the visa application process, will be the asylum process. They'll just be saying yes to everybody. That's the problem there. Then you're going to start seeing these people living next door to you and spread across the whole country.
Yeah, I don't know if we might be able just to, whilst I put something to Benjamin, but bring that picture up of the lads hanging out the hotel window. I think it's the different hotel in London, with the mobile phones appearing to film and laugh at some of the protesters out there. It'd be good if we could get that, because I think that's just quite a powerful image. There you go. That sticks in the craw a little bit there. Look, happy as Larry, those lads there, having broken into Britain, being put up at a taxpayer-funded hotel. There's Brits outside, possibly a lot of women as well, saying, look, we don't particularly want this, we don't really feel safe. And there you go. I mean, where do they even get the phones from, Benjamin? I mean, they've probably got a nicer phone than half the people who are out there protesting. It really just wind people up, this, doesn't it?
Well, I suppose it could do, but I mean, they have human rights. They might have been through a horrendous ordeal to end up there, and I don't think that picture should be seen as indicative of everyone who is a refugee. Look, I know you say that they told you that there weren't going to be migrants in that hotel. Whoever was on the phone can't be expected to know everything. People misspeak. I really wouldn't, read too much into that.
Oh, come on.
Let's put some facts in this. Right?
We know policemen have told councils not to reveal the ethnicity of foreign criminals, of people who come
that's the opposite. The government has the opposite view.
Well, no, they don't have the
They
option
do,
to.
'cause they
No,
changed the
don't.
law
Who do you think is telling the
for
police to do
nationality.
that? Who do you think is telling the cops to keep it quiet?
Let's have some facts in this debate, because it's been a
Well,
while.
I just gave you one.
All right, go
So
on.
the number of people in refugee hotels is down 30% in 12
Where
months.
have they gone?
Exactly.
Well, let me tell you another fact. The number,
Okay, well,
the
you
number,
swerved that
the
then.
number of people being deported is up in
Oh,
the last
please.
12 months.
We know
the
this
biggest
is tosh.
deportation flights
Stop
have
it.
taken
We know
place under
these
Labour.
figures are tosh.
I know you
we
hate
know
facts,
that
Carol, but we need some.
Well, address the facts. You know that 2/3 of those who've been deported wanted to go. They were paid and they wanted to go.
Well, they weren't
you
going under
know
the
that.
tourists.
There's about 6,500 that have been sent away that didn't want to go, out of 30,000. And that figure has been disputed many times.
I actually don't understand your anger at this at all, about this particular hotel.
Don't you?
Because they have to go somewhere when they come here. The question is about
Not to a
how
four-star
quickly they're
hotel.
processed
They could.
And
Do
actually,
you know what?
Canary Wharf is an ideal place.
No, it is
because
not.
It has a relatively
because
low
you have the big banks
population of
working.
people that live
Do you know
there.
where they could go? They could use lots of the old RAF air bases. They could actually build detention centres out of town and keep these guys away from close-knit communities.
Call me a radical as well. There is one place you could go, and that place is home, isn't it? But,
Yes,
but there we go. James, what do you make of the fact now that we've seen more, I think, of an organised attempt by predominantly women, concerned mothers, grandmothers, and it looked like some of them have brought their daughters or grandchildren along with them as well. Wearing pink there. Yeah, exactly. I think we can maybe see a little bit of that as well. The pink ladies or whatever they're calling themselves. I actually thought that was a very powerful image. That really, it just showed a bit of a shift, I think.
Yeah, absolutely right. It's hard, exactly as you said earlier on, to portray these people as evil Nazis, right? They're not scared to show their face, unlike the scumbags who are protesting against them.
Yeah.
I think it gets to this crisis of legitimacy I said before. There is now a widespread belief that the state, whether that's the police, the army, all these other groups, will not protect you. And when that happens, that's really corrosive. Let's put the numbers that we're starting to face into perspective here. More than twice as many people have come over on small boats since 2018 as there are now regular members of the British Army. More than twice as many people have come over, right? That's the scale we're talking about, with tens of thousands of these people coming over more every year. They're all fighting-age young men, almost 90% or so are. And so you start being a mum looking at these things, you start getting very worried, and the police don't look like they've got a handle on this. If things really kick off all around the country, there's just not going to be the manpower to stop widespread riots. And that's very scary.
As one woman protester said today, she said, protecting women and children isn't far right.
No.
It's just right.
Well, this is it. So, Benjamin, when you see some of the images there, these ladies in pink, it's not just women, to be fair, predominantly women in pink and with their kids and so forth. And then you see the counter-protest where the Great Unwashed turned up with Antifa and they were lobbing stuff at police. They've all got the masks on and they're all linking arms and they look almost kind of like, they look like an organised kind of mob, really, aren't they? Do you have to ask yourself, whose side are you on there?
Well, I'm not sure any of them achieve anything by this behaviour. Clearly, you shouldn't. I think anyone that turns up in a mask and throws stuff isn't OK, regardless of what cause they purport.
So protesting is not allowed, is it not?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it doesn't achieve anything.
Oh, really?
And actually, the issue is about where these people should stay. And these people being in a Canary Wharf hotel is absolutely fine by me, because it is a safe, low-resident area to put them.
Do you know,
and there's probably not much demand.
Do you know there are people in this country now who are going to be sitting battering their tellies listening to that? 4-star hotels, with 4 poster beds, spa facilities. You think that's
I don't think
all
they're using
right?
the spa.
Yes, I'm afraid they are. The 4-star hotel at Canary Wharf.
We know that
has all
plenty of them
that.
are using casinos as well.
You think that's all right? When you come to this country, you've given nothing to it. You've contributed nothing, and you're laughing like these guys here, and you get all of that. No wonder they're coming.
They want to contribute to this country. They want to build a life.
No, they don't.
And I think we should be glad of this. And many of these people...
I don't think even you believe that, Benjamin.
Oh, you don't know that they've been through ordeals at all.
Well, you do, because that's why most of them are granted status.
No, they're not.
It's interesting. I mean, at the top of the next hour, the government's unveiled 3 separate illegal migration policies in the last 24 hours or so. So we're going to be picking those apart and seeing which ones you think might make any difference at all.